Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Weekly Brief. It is April 3rd, 2026. We are only about a week and a half until the scheduled end to the legislative session, and lots to catch you up on this week. I'm Robbie Feinberg. I am Director of Communications and Government Relations at the Maine School Management Association. And like I mentioned, I have a lot of different updates to share on education, and likely we'll have a bunch to share next week. Things are moving quickly. So let's get started. So this week, I want to start with the supplemental budget. An agreement was reached earlier this week. The Appropriations Committee finished all of its work on the supplemental budget. I say that they finished all of their work on this agreement here that was reached around a lots of big changes to Maine's budget moving forward. The Appropriations Committee, they were voted out this bill. It's a very large bill. It's got many different initiatives in it. They voted it out on a party line basis early on Thursday morning, and there were several different provisions around education that we do want to catch you up on. So we're first wanting to highlight the 55% state share of education costs. This supplemental budget deal, it includes additional funding in order to ensure that the state does meet its 55% obligation. As always, this is not something that we should take for granted. It's only been really a few years, really only about 5 or 6 years that the state has been meeting that obligation. And we are very thankful that the Appropriations Committee, that legislators in general, really understand the need to meet that in order to help out our schools, our students, and our communities as a whole. So we're thrilled to see that once again was able to make it into the agreement. The second big provision that we did want to mention is the $50,000 minimum teacher salary. This was proposed by Governor Mills in her budget proposal, and it was included in the final agreement that was reached this week. So the way that this would work is that there would be phased increases. They would begin next year. So we're talking the 27-28 school year at $45,000 for that minimum teacher salary. And then it would increase to $47,500 the next year, and then to $50,000 by the 2029-2030 school year. And it would also, this is similar to what happened when there was the $40,000 minimum teacher salary. It would also include supplemental funds. The state would provide supplemental funds to help districts who aren't at that minimum salary yet. It would help to pay for those incremental increases each year as well. A few other updates on this. So I know there's been lots of discussion over the bell-to-bell cell phone ban policy that was also proposed by the governor in her proposal, and a ban did make it into the final agreement. So we will share a whole lot more about what is in this agreement, what the exact language is. But basically this boils down to this will require school boards to implement a bell-to-bell cell phone ban on cell phones and personal devices with, wireless capabilities, with cellular capabilities by August 1st, 2026. So we know that is just in a few months. So please be aware that our organization, MSMA, we are going to be working with the DOE and others, and have already, really started that work of, updating our sample policy to help you all to make sure that you can implement something and be in alignment with this cell phone restriction. The budget does also include $350,000 for districts to help them implement this. So potential going to funds for things like the storage solutions or those sorts of areas as well. So this does include some funding. It's less than what was originally proposed by the governor, but there is some funding there to help districts as they move towards these cell phone bans. And then we also wanted to highlight school bus safety. We've talked about this for going on 3 months now. The governor included this in her proposal, including nearly $6 million funding to retrofit school buses with both crossing arms and anti-pinch door sensors. And that funding did end up getting included in this budget agreement. That roughly it's $5.9 million that did get included in order to help districts to retrofit their local school buses. We should also highlight highlight as well, this comes as there's a bill LD 2159 that is also making its way through both the House and the Senate. We've discussed this as well. We have been in frequent communication with the Transportation Committee about this bill. This bill would require crossing arms on all school buses by February of 2027 as well. So these two kind of work together. This LD 2159, it will also work to keep alive and keep ongoing a state commission on school bus safety that has been meeting as well and looking at other ways to make sure that our students are safe on school buses. This is all really encouraging news when it comes to student safety and making sure that our kids are safe when going to and from school. So we were really pleased to see that did end up in that final supplemental budget agreement. And in terms of details, we already talked a little bit about the minimum teacher salary here, but this just breaks down by year. So you can see right here what is included for those teacher salaries, as we mentioned, 45, 47.5, and 50. And then just wanted to talk about what is next on this supplemental budget proposal, what is going to be going on over the course of the next week and a half for this. So the next step is for the committee and nonpartisan staff to work together to put together a final supplemental budget bill with all of that final language in there. And we will probably see that at some point over the next week. They'll have that bill that'll be kind of wrapped up, and then the full House and the Senate will vote on that bill. This budget agreement, it will need to pass both chambers and then be signed by the governor before it becomes law. So there's many more steps until this does end up going into law, but we will keep you informed and updated on what happens with this supplemental budget agreement moving forward. And then we just have a few bits of good news that we did want to share with you all. So a few bills have had some encouraging votes already in the legislature that we are pleased to see. As I mentioned, less than 2 weeks until the legislature's schedule adjournment for April 15th, but here is where a few bills stand. So first is LD 2175. This is the bill on teacher certification. And on Thursday morning, this bill kind of overcame its first hurdle by passing through the House by a vote of 80 to 63. It was largely party line Democrats, but it did get some Republican votes as well, which we were really pleased to see because this is an issue that we really feel is very nonpartisan. It really just works to really help to make the teacher certification process better for our schools, for teachers, for administrators, for CTE centers, everyone across the state, really helping to strengthen our educator workforce. So we really were thrilled to see that this did get that initial vote in the House, and that will now head to the main Senate, a likely vote as soon as Monday, if not Tuesday. So we're likely to see that continue moving through the House and the Senate shortly, and then there will be a few more votes back and forth, but we are hopeful about that bill. And then also LD 1892. This is a bill we've discussed quite a bit this year on school construction, and really does quite a bit increasing the amount of debt service, the amount of bonding that the state can do to pay for school construction. So hopefully leading to more schools that can be built. Also works to set aside certain funds each year for the revolving renovation program, also works to add funds for other programs as well. So we really think that this would help to modernize the program, help to really boost Maine's school construction capacity, and really help out our local districts, really help to create some, sustaining efforts to help out local districts with the construction needs that we know that so many of you are facing. That bill also passed through the House late on Thursday night by a vote of 79 to 63. That bill will now head to the main Senate. That also, because it involves funding, will go to the Appropriations Committee as well. But we are hoping that it is able to get through there because this would be a big deal for our schools. In terms of there are two other big bills that we are watching, we've talked about before. One is LD 2226. That is the bill amending the EPS funding formula. And then LD 2192. That's a bill around school employee investigations that we've talked about some. For both of those bills, we'll probably see votes over the next week or so. Things still are ongoing around that, but we are likely to see votes shortly. So we will be able to share more on that in just probably a few days, probably by early to mid next week on that. In terms of what you can do right now, we urge you to take action to support EPS reform, support that EPS funding bill. The Education Committee, they passed this bill on an 11-2 vote, bipartisan manner. They clearly understand the need to update this really outdated formula, but it really will take all of us to come together to share with the whole House and the whole Senate, both chambers, about the importance of updating this formula so that they understand. Lawmakers from both parties, from both chambers, clearly understand why we need to take these steps. So now is a great time to reach out to your local legislators. You can go to the MSSA website, the MSBA website, to go to our legislator lookup tool. We'll also include a link to that. It'll be in the description for this YouTube video here. It's right on our legislative advocacy dashboards. You can easily find your legislators through there. Just click on the email all legislators button once you find them, and then you'll pop up with an email. Send that quick email as well. We also are included on our website talking points and sample letters to legislators for these bills as well that you can reference. Talk about your own personal stories too. So please, we would really encourage you, share your district stories. How would a fair funding formula change things for your schools? Talk about the budgets that your schools have dealt with, what this would mean, what, really updating this formula would mean for you all. Now is the time. So, send that email today, Monday, moving forward, whenever you can. But with such little time, now is the time to really reach out. And your legislators really will listen to you. If they hear from their local school district saying, we need to take this step, they will listen. So please reach out. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. So for now, that's about all that we have for this week. Again, if you have any questions, there's my email right there. There's my phone number. You are welcome to email, to call, to text. That's the easiest thing. As you can tell, there is a lot left going on in the legislative session, so we will likely be touching base with you shortly. You'll probably be getting another email from me, probably, I'd guess, middle of next week, and we will try to keep you informed as things keep moving through this very fast-paced legislative process. So again, as always, thank you so much for your work, and we look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you.